What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda. Divisional round on deck. Hugh, great to have you back on. Best weekend of the year, right? Can't wait.
Absolutely. Got to find out who's going to get to the next round.
Yeah. Conference championships are next after this weekend, but Amanda, I'm disappointed in our the Chargers fell through. I wanted Chargers Chiefs. Who else lost? The Bucks lost. I want a Bucks Eagles rematch. Uh, yeah, it sucks, but it'll still be fun.
Well, but I think the games mostly went according to plan. Like you picked the
Yeah.
Vikings. That was just not like you did that wrong. Hugh and I had that one right. We knew what was happening. I think that was just like wishful thinking on your part. But
Darnold, man, Darnold fell off a cliff.
it was a rough game. But then like the Commanders Bucks game, that went as predicted. It was a close game. It
Yeah.
was back and forth. It was really great offensive game. But the better team won. And that's awesome to see. Jaden is the first rookie quarterback to win a road game in the postseason. So I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
But this Texans team is finally playing like they should have been playing all year. So I mean, I'm glad to see it. It's just a weird time to finally heat up.
Yeah, Hugh, were you surprised by the Texans Chargers game?
I was. I thought that the Chargers would be too physical for the Texans, and it looked to be the other way around.
Yeah.
The Texans came to play, and I think they had heard enough, about going to Houston. Everybody talking about Houston was going to win. The comments that Rex Ryan had,
Yeah.
kind of became bulletin board material. So I was surprised by it.
Yeah, and I think we had talked about this all year, and you were right when you said the lack of weapons for the Chargers would come back to haunt them, and they were
Mhm.
able to go all the way to the playoffs. But Derek Stingley and the pass rushers, that defense was able to shut down. You had a lot of drops. Justin Herbert wasn't playing his best ball, and it all accumulated in that loss.
No, it did. So you have to give Houston their credit. They did a great job, had a great game plan. They
Yeah.
executed it, and they won the game. And that's kind of the way these games go. If you're not ready to play,
Mhm.
that's what can happen to you.
Amanda, do you think the Texans can keep up, roll this into the Chiefs game and play well in Arrowhead? It's not in a dome, and you're playing against the defending champs.
I mean, I'm definitely expecting the Chiefs to show up and win. The Texans played a great game against a team that had a really rough day on offense. Like the Texans looked better than they played because of how poorly the Chargers played.
Hmm.
And this is the first good game we've seen from that Texans team in 2+ months. So yeah, it's a good time to have a win finally, but not against a team that's been waiting for 3 weeks to get back in there and wreck somebody. And they've been to back Super Bowls. We know what the Chiefs can do. So I think it was cute. It was a great little hurrah for them. And I think that's probably the end of the line.
Yeah, Hugh, the Chiefs haven't played their starters. They've been sitting for a while. So there could be a little bit of rust there potentially. But we saw the Texans last year, who they beat, the Browns in the first round, and then they played the Ravens. They got blown out in the
Mhm.
divisional. So it wouldn't surprise anybody if the Chiefs were to kind of kick their butt on Saturday.
Not at all. I mean, you got to understand the Chiefs know how to do this,
Yeah.
right? This is old hat to them. They know how to prepare. They know how to get ready. They know how to win championships. Have a championship quarterback, championship coach on defense, special teams. They know what they're doing. So
Yeah.
none of us will be surprised. I think it's going to be a decent game, but I think the fact that the Chiefs are healthy, they're feeling good. They're at home. It's going to be cold. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. The Chiefs should win this game.
Yeah, and Amanda with Aziz Al-Shaair and Joe Mixon both questionable. I think they both play, but the Texans are going to need Joe Mixon a lot. They need to take some pressure off of C.J. Stroud. Mixon going for over 100 is a big key to their success, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that defense, while it does have some areas where it's weak, it's not like there's an obvious, like, if you're playing against these team that's known for having a bad rushing defense or a bad passing defense, like you can use that. The Chiefs don't have any like super lopsided defensive issues to fight against here. And I
Yeah,
think, I mean, we know the Chiefs know how to beat this team. What they did it in week 16. That
yeah.
was a pretty solid win. I think
But that wasn't a blowout. It was a good
no,
game.
it was a good game, but they've been there, and the Texans are
Yeah,
just now figuring out how to win a game. I haven't been impressed with them lately. I will say that the defense in that game, when they played, they only got to Patrick Mahomes once or twice. I think they had like two quarterback hits and one sack. But if
yeah,
the defense plays like it did last week, Patrick Mahomes could take a couple more hits, which would be the key to winning this game. Get him off his feet, mess him up, get in his head a little bit. But it just seems so lopsided.
yeah. Yeah, Hugh, the Texans defense is going to have to be at its best. And we know D'Amico is capable of having that defense playing great. That, Will Anderson Jr., who's the other one? Daniil Hunter. You got Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, those guys. So if they can keep the score low, the Chiefs haven't been blowing anybody out all year long. So it might be a good game, but I think we all expect the Chiefs to find a way in the end, even if it's close, right?
No, no doubt. That was the regular season. This is the playoffs,
Yeah,
and I think the Chiefs are going to show up. As everybody knows, when it comes to me, until somebody dethrones the Chiefs, I'm not going
yeah,
to shy away from them because they have the best player in the world, Patrick Mahomes. So I really
yeah.
believe that they'll come prepared to play. They're going to send a message to the rest of the National Football League. They got to win 3 games.
Hmm.
They're chomping at the bit to play. They're ready to play, and I think they'll play well.
Yeah, I agree. I got the
And
Chiefs in a hard fought close game, but like by 3 points or 4 points. What do you think, Amanda?
I think this is going to be the most lopsided matchup this week. I
Yeah,
three,
it
four
wouldn't
points
surprise me.
is some optimistic shit, if I ever.
Yeah.
Did you mean 30? Did you forget a zero?
It
Yeah.
won't be 30.
This game is going to be lopsided as hell. I love the idea of the Texans showing up, but CJ Stroud is about to be the youngest starting quarterback to face a Super Bowl champ in the postseason. Like it's
Yeah.
the experience. Like I just, as much fun as it would be for the Texans to be in this one and to threaten the three-peat and stuff, I just don't see it happening. Optimism and good football games. I just don't think it's going to start off Saturday's early game with this. And then, I mean, the best thing that the Texans have done this season is their third down defense. But the Chiefs have
Yeah.
the second best third down conversion rate in the NFL. So they don't even have their normal advantage because this Chiefs team is so good at that. So yeah, rolling with the Chiefs here 100%.
Yeah, Hugh, we saw the Texans started out slow in that Chargers game, and then they had that bad snap on 3rd and long,
Mhm.
and CJ Stroud made the big throw to convert the first down, and that seemed to wake him up. You see CJ Stroud's potential that he can make every throw. Like he's got superstar ability, but he's gonna have to be at his A game, and I just don't know. That Chiefs defense is so good. I think do you think it's a blowout, or do you think they can keep it one score?
I don't think it'll be one score. I think it will
Yeah,
be. I don't know. It'll be just a total blowout, as
yeah,
Miss Amanda's put out there. I don't know if you add a zero or a three to that number, but I think it's going to be somewhat lopsided and nothing to do with the Texans. I think the Texans are a good football team. I think
yeah,
D'Amico Ryan's one of the better coaches there is in the league. They're just still lacking a little bit, right? They got
yeah,
some key players hurt. And if all
yeah.
those guys were there, we'd be having a different conversation. So I
Absolutely.
really believe that the Chiefs are ready. And the worst thing that happened, I said this before, is one, they got to rest. And two, you're going to play a pissed off Patrick Mahomes because
Yeah.
he's still seen as the cream of the crop in the National Football League, and people don't think so. Lamar Jackson is a tremendous player, one of the best in the league, and so is
Yeah.
Josh Allen, and so is all these other guys. But until they win Super Bowls, can
Hmm.
you put them in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes? And so I think he's going to go prove that again, why he is considered one of the greats that's ever played this game.
Yeah, and at the very worst, he always at least gets to the conference championship round. So
Mhm.
I don't see any reason why that won't happen again. So we're all going with the Chiefs at home. But the Saturday night game is very interesting, Amanda. The Commanders at the Lions. Washington coming in on a 6-game winning streak, and they looked great, especially Jaden Daniels against Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking into the Commanders because coming into the season, I was not expecting this out of them. But looking into some of their stats this season, like Jaden Daniels has more career games with no punts and no turnovers than Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Mahomes combined. They convert almost 87% of fourth downs. Like they're so good in some very unique ways. And I'm excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be fun. I the coaches in this matchup are so fired up and they're not afraid of anything. Like they've got the biggest cojones in football as far as going for it and just saying, fuck it, let's give it a shot. So I just want this game to be, I don't want a single punt. I don't want a single field goal. I want anything less than 4th and 10, just go for it. Like 4th and 30, fuck it, let's try it. Like the coaching matchup in this just gets me so excited. And these teams are so not similar, but the way that they're all in and very passionate, I think this matchup is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, another young quarterback in a big matchup here. We'll see how Jaden Daniels performs against the Lions, but Detroit getting David Montgomery back is huge for them. And how do you see this one, Hugh? Do you think that Jaden Daniels can keep Washington in this game and keep it competitive down? Because if they keep it close to the end, Jaden Daniels is so clutch. He seems a way to pull these wins out.
He does have a way of doing that, and he's had a unbelievable year. And
Yeah.
I know him personally, his family, the great people.
Hmm.
But nothing against, again, the Commanders. I think Cliff Kingsbury's done a great job. Quinn's done a great job with the team. The Commanders are back. They're doing extremely well, but they're going into Detroit.
Hmm.
Detroit is playing lights out. And I just think from Goff to the receivers to Gibbs, they get Montgomery back. I've watched them play so much. I have a liking of their skill and their talent on offense. I have a respect for what they have on defense. I think they're just the better team today. I think
Yeah.
obviously Jaden Daniels is the wild card. If he'll run the football like he
Yeah.
did last week, that's what gave them an opportunity to stay in the game. He made some huge plays with his legs. That's the difference maker. You know, this guy gets loose for 125 yards and rushes for 2 touchdowns where they can
Yeah.
control the clock. That's a different game. But you're
Yeah.
going to have to control the clock because Detroit is going to score. You're not going to stop these guys from scoring. They can score the football. They proved it all year and they'll continue to do so. So I really believe Detroit will win at home.
Some interesting quotes from Jared Goff going into this game, and I'm interested in your guys' thoughts on this. So, Jared Goff said, "quote They're good, they're young, they're feisty, and their whole team is young." To me, so you can look at that and say there's nothing to that, but to me, he's kind of like little broing them a little bit. In my opinion, it's like, yeah, they're young, they shouldn't be here. We're the better team. We're proven. Amanda, do you see that as a little bit of a shot or a little bit bulletin board for the Commanders?
Not really. Like the rest of the quote and what Dan Campbell was saying about the team, it was all very positive, like recognizing
Yeah.
how good they are. And the Commanders feel young, like with a young rookie quarterback, like the team's vibe is very young. But if you look up the average age for these NFL teams, like the oldest team that made it to the postseason of 14 teams is the Commanders. Like their average age is over 28 years. Like the Lions are 9 months younger, technically. So not to be pedantic, because like Detroit feels like an older team. They've been in the postseason a couple, like they've been on a run, but technically it's a little rude because it's not even true. Like the team is older.
Yeah, that
Like
was my thing. Like to me, I don't think they seem young. I know Jaden Daniels is a rookie, but you got Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner. What's he talking about here, Hugh? I don't get this.
their vibe,
Well, you know how
their
it
vibe
goes.
is energetic. I don't like
Right. No doubt. I just, again, it's going to be a fun game to watch. There's no
Yeah.
question because I think everybody's anticipating what Jaden Daniels can do. It's just like you said earlier. Boy, if you keep it close, he's been so clutch in the end. He's got a chance to win it.
Yeah.
And don't think that's not on Detroit's mind. They understand they got to score early and often, and do everything they can to keep that offense off the field because they do find a way to score points with this young quarterback. But I just think Detroit just got a little too much. I think they're destined for some great things this year.
Yeah, the Lions are 31st ranked against mobile quarterbacks. So you're right on, Hugh. If Jaden Daniels can use his legs, he can
Hmm.
be a real threat in this game. We all know how in the playoffs, that borderline along the sideline, if you hit him, you can get an extra 15. So
Hmm.
that'll be something to keep an eye on. And yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Amanda, I mean, what are your thoughts? You know, any
I
other?
I like this game. I want a shootout. I want it to be Tampa Bay Commanders like last week, a lot of back and forth. The over under on this game is the highest in a playoff game since Super Bowl 55 between the Bucks and the Chiefs. Like the numbers show that this should be a high back and forth scrappy situation. So I am all for that. I do think I'm a bit more comfortable with the younger team in this one. I'm gonna pick the Lions at home. I think that they've they're a little more experienced in the postseason. They've had a taste of it last year, and they're a bit more calmed down, a little less hyped about it, and a little more focused on the end goal. So I'm gonna roll with the Lions in this one, but I do want a close, hard-fought game, and I think it'll be a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, it should be a great game on Saturday night. And I heard Chris Sims say, Hugh, he said the Lions defense is going to be ultra aggressive because the last thing they want is for the Commanders to play ball control and just dominate the time of possession because they know their offense is going to be able to score. So be aggressive. And even if the Commanders score, great, we give it back to our offense. We can, attack again, right?
Right. That's where you got to be careful, though, because there could be big plays from
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels' legs that you didn't
Yeah.
anticipate. He can rip off a 60-yard touchdown run or 50. I mean, he's that talented. I think we all know that. So you
Yeah.
don't anticipate that happening. But if that happens, that's what changes the game. So
Yeah.
you can be aggressive if you want, but you better be a little careful. No, you don't want them having 17 play drives and 14 play drives, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you have him understand that this is a huge playoff game. So you got to go
Yeah.
hit him. You have to. And so, I mean, the team last week, Tampa Bay tried to hit him several times, and they did. And
Yeah.
he never flinched. He just
Yeah.
kept playing and making plays. And so that's just who he is. And I think that's what Detroit anticipates.
Yeah, it's a big game for these two coordinators too, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, being head coaching candidates, and all
Mhm.
eyes are going to be on them in this game. So that'll be huge. I agree with Amanda. I can't pick against the Lions here. I've been picking against them all season long, but this is the playoffs, and I need wins now. I can't have Amanda beat me in the playoffs as well. I'm already down one game. So give me the Lions, but by like 3 points. I think this is going to be a great game. What do you think, Hugh?
I think give me the Lions, but a
Yep.
little bit more than 3 points.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
So
think it'll be a touchdown.
touchdown. Let's go, Commanders. I need to get a Jaden Daniels jersey. Let's go Sunday. The Rams at the Eagles. The Rams, took care, beat up on the Vikings, blew them out. So here come the Eagles in Philly. It's supposed to be snow and cold. A great game. I can't wait for this one. Amanda, you get your snow game in Philly.
I want two snow games.
Yeah.
We argued a little bit. I argued, not Alex. Yeah, Kadri Ismail on last night, and he doesn't want a snow game for the late game, but I want snow and all. Give me all the snow games. If every game could snow, those are my favorite ones. He just to have to deal with the snow, so he said I can have this one as a snowy game instead. But
Uh, how do you see this one going? Saquon Barkley went for a career high 255 yards and 2 touchdowns in LA in week 12. Hugh, do you think the Rams defense will adjust and perform better? I mean, Saquon's capable of breaking loose against anybody, but you can't allow him to go for 200 plus again, right?
No question. I mean, and it's been well established that when they run the football, they're dangerous. They're
Yeah,
dangerous to stop. They have a great chance of winning. But I got to give a lot of credit to Coach McVay. I mean, he's done an unbelievable job this year.
yeah,
That team has gotten better week in and week out, playing their best football, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. The elements will have a factor in this game. I truly believe that. I
Yeah.
think the team that can throw the ball, though the best in this game, is going to win it. I think the run game is important. Don't get me wrong, but to score enough points, you're
Yeah.
going to have to throw the ball. And so when I think of strategists, I think of Coach McVay. I think he's going to do a good job of getting Puka open, and getting these receivers open, giving them chances to make plays. And so if the elements are not too bad, yeah, don't be surprised if the Rams come away with a victory in this game. This will not be
Wow.
like the game that was played back in California. It will not be like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been playing on repeat in the video rooms.
Absolutely.
That cooking. I
Yeah.
wish we had seen better matchups from these teams last week because they were so lopsided. Like AJ Brown, who has the most yards per route in the regular season, the fourth highest mark by any receiver since '07 this season. He was sitting on the sidelines reading a book. Like he didn't even touch the field hardly in that matchup. And then the Rams, they had 8 different players with at least half a sack in that wild card game over the Vikings, the most by any team since 1982, like when
Wow.
they started recording it. So the past week didn't show us anything new about these teams. We didn't see them challenged in any way. So I'm intrigued by this matchup. I do see a big weekend for AJ Brown coming into this. Devontae Smith has really been stepping up. I think he is at an advantage against this defense. I think that they don't match up as well for him. So I kind of like him blowing up in this game. I think I gotta pick the Eagles here just because they just seem a little more hungry to me. They seem a little more scrappy. I like the Rams, but that defense concerns me.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get 8 sacks against that Eagles O line. And AJ Brown's not gonna get one catch for 10 yards. I expect him to have a much better game. But to me, what can keep the Rams in this game, and he's very capable, is Kyron Williams, their running back. He's come on and been pretty good. So I would have him involved a lot in this game. And then also, yeah, Puka is an ultimate wild card. The Eagles have great secondary, but can they defend Puka? That's going to be a big question. So this is a great game. I'm going to go Eagles as well, but I think it's going to be hard fought. Another great game. I think the snow plays a role. I know Stafford played in the NFC North, but I don't know how comfortable he is in the snow. I think my Bears and the Packers beat up on him in the snow a couple times, so maybe Philly will do the same thing. What do you think, Hugh?
I'm going to go with the Rams.
All right.
Here we go, Rammies. And my reason for making that decision is the head coach. I
Yeah.
really believe Sean McVay will have these guys ready to play. He is a master motivator. He is
Yeah.
a master technician. There's no question from a talent standpoint, Philadelphia has the best football team
Yeah.
in football.
Yeah.
But I really believe this team, the Rams, have only gotten better week in and week out. I think they're going to play their best game, and I think they got a chance to unseat Philly in this game.
I agree. I'm not a huge Nick Sirianni fan, and Kellen Moore worries me as well. He's getting head coach candidate, and I'm like, I swear my Bears are gonna hire Kellen Moore, and it's gonna make me so mad. But yeah, I give the Rams a shot because of the coaching matchup, and Stafford, he's been there before in the big playoff game, so. Me and Amanda going Eagles, Hugh going Rams. We'll see if Hugh calls this one. That would be a big upset and get
hmm
the
Hugh and I tend to agree. So
yeah,
this is the one I was most on the fence with.
yeah,
hmm
This one, I could see it either way, but this Eagles defense has really stepped up. I mean,
They have.
especially
yeah,
like the turnovers. I mean, four
good,
turnovers
yeah,
last week. Since coming back from their week 6 bye, they're tied for first with turnover margin. Like, so they've been
yeah,
playing pretty well. I mean, they're tied with the Bills for first. So we'll
yeah.
see. I like
Well,
Kansas though. We normally agree, so I'm interested to see how it plays out.
I'm undecided on this next matchup. The Sunday afternoon game, Sunday evening game. Ravens at Bills. Baltimore on a 5-game winning streak, but Buffalo's 9-0 at home this season. The Ravens blew out the Bills 35-10 in Baltimore in week 4, and Derrick Henry went for 199 yards and a touchdown. So similar to the Eagles Rams, Buffalo, needs to make adjustments, doesn't want to get blown out. It's going to be cold. It's going to be the coldest game Lamar Jackson's ever played in. He experimented with wearing gloves in practice and said, nope, I'm not doing that. Going back to the bare hands, he said, leave that to Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater. Hugh, how do you see this one? This is a true toss-up game for me. I mean, the last time they met in the playoffs, the Bills won. So I don't know, you know?
Not a toss up for me. The
Okay.
wild card in this one is Lamar Jackson. I'll say it again. I said this last week. If
Yeah.
he will run the football like he did last week, if you go back and look at that game, he probably
He
ran
was
the ball
aggressive.
5 of the first 6 plays of the game.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
set the tempo for that game. And then they got Derrick Henry going, and you look up, they rushed for 300 yards.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, if he will run this week again, it will be a whole different game. Baltimore scored a ton of points. I think the Bills will be hard pressed to stay with them. I love the Bills team. I love their runner Cook. I love Josh Allen. I love what they've done and what they're doing. I just think Baltimore is a little bit better. Um,
hmm
I like both coaches. I've worked for John Harbaugh. I know
Yeah.
he'll have that team ready to play. They don't care about the weather. They don't
Yeah.
care how cold it is. The
Mhm.
Ravens don't care about that stuff. They just want to play. And
Yeah.
so they'll come ready to play. They know what's at stake. They know it's a chance to meet Kansas City again. Oh, you hear what I just said, right?
Oh yeah.
They know
I
that.
think.
So that's what
Yeah.
they're going to be
We're
banking
all
on.
assuming.
That's what they're banking on. That's what they're going to want to do.
The crazy thing is they're going to know the outcome of Chief Texans before they kick off. And what if, let's say the impossible happens, the Texans steal that? What will Ravens and Bills be thinking, knowing they're going to play the Texans in the AFC Championship game at home? It'd be crazy.
Both
So,
of them
but
will be feeling
Amanda,
like they're going to the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Yeah. They're going to the Super. They're going to be thinking about the Super Bowl, not the AFC Championship. They're just going to be Super Bowl.
yeah,
What's so interesting to me, I know we're all assuming the Texans lose at this point, but
yeah,
the Chiefs, Ravens, and Bills have like this weird kind of like rock, paper, scissors, like triangle
yeah.
going on. Like Baltimore is such a tough matchup for Buffalo. Buffalo's a tough matchup for Kansas City. Kansas City is a tough match for Baltimore. We just
Yes.
need to redo the rock, paper, scissors with
Mhm.
Lamar, Josh, and like it's so funny to me. Like
Well, Josh Allen, you talk about Lamar Jackson's running ability, but Amanda, Josh Allen was aggressive running the ball in their playoff game as well, and is very capable of putting the team on his back. James Cook as well.
and
I
Josh
mean, how
Allen
do
has
you?
the most postseason rushing yards of any quarterback.
Yeah. So
Lamar
Hmm.
Jackson
we
has
might see
seven less.
a
So they're
duel
yeah.
of two running
They're basically
quarterbacks
the
here.
same, but
Yeah.
it's technically Josh
And I
Allen's
believe
crown.
Josh Allen's going to show his worth.
Mhm.
There's no question in my mind about that. He's
Yeah.
going to run the football. He's going to do whatever it takes to win
Mhm.
this game. But I think this is the game because we have not seen him lately turn the
Mhm.
ball over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been
So
clean. This
that's going to
one's
be the key in this game. They're going to
yeah.
have to take care of the football. They don't take care of the football, then things are going to happen. And that's just
Yeah.
the way this thing goes.
Yeah.
And I know we saw these teams match up in week 4. I know Baltimore won. However, this Buffalo defense is very different with how they look and who's going to be in this game. Like that matchup,
Yeah.
Terrell Bernard was out, Matt Milano was out, corner Teron Johnson didn't play. Like, so
Yeah.
this defense is whole, they're complete, and they've been pretty solid. And they know exactly what they're coming into. Like they've been watching this team all season. They were I can't remember who it was. Daquan Jones, I think, was like, "Oh, Derrick Henry, yeah, he's just a freak of nature." Like, so they're
Mhm.
well aware of how good this team is.
Yeah, and on top of that, the Bills have added Amari Cooper since then, so that helps a little bit as well. It's not going to be a blowout like that. I think this is a great game. This one might go to overtime. That's how I see. That's how good this matchup's going to be. Um, I'm gonna Amanda. Who are you going here? So
I'm gonna
Zay
pick with my
Flowers.
heart, but
Jose Flowers could be impactful as well. Ravens without their number one receiver.
feel like I should be stupid and pick the Bills just because that's who I'm gonna be rooting for. Fuck it. I'll take the Bills. I'm gonna be wrong, but I have a one game lead on Alex already, so
um, I think my camera froze. Did you hear Zay Flowers in this game for the Ravens?
yeah.
Um, yeah. So you're going who? You going Bills?
I'm going Bills. The home field advantage might be a slight edge. I think the wind and the cold, the wind more than the cold. I think either team is going to be fine in the cold. Kadri was saying that the Ravens have been practicing outside. They've got all the windows open when they moved inside. Like they're prepared for the cold, but wind is going to limit. And I mean, it's going to be a ground game, and they've got their focus on the two rushers on the other team. So I don't know, but I'm rooting for the Bills. I love Josh Allen. The Ravens are fantastic. Like this, there's so much talent between these two teams. It's hard to pick, but I think I'm gonna go with my heart on this one and roll with the Bills.
Going with the Bills. All right, give me the Ravens then, just
Yeah.
because I need to gain some ground on you. And I mean it's a true pick 'em game, true toss up. Who knows who's gonna win this one? But I'm gonna go Ravens. And then Hugh, any issues, any concerns with Justin Tucker, who's missed the most kicks of his career this year?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, I have some concerns, because he's missed kicks he's
Like,
never missed before. So I think
yeah,
that could be a problem. But boy, this is a big game, right? And so your big time players got to show up and play. And so
yeah,
I know Harbaugh's going to count on him. He said he's not worried about him. He's giving him a vote of confidence. He can do it. We all know that. But is he going to be dead on when he needs to be dead on in this game? Because he may need to be. It could be a
yeah,
shootout, just as you guys are saying. I mean,
yeah,
boy, it could be 38-38, and a kick needs to win the game. Can
yep,
he do it? We're gonna find out. That's for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I said last week watching that Ravens game against Pittsburgh, and they're dominating. And I said Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry really, I honestly might be unstoppable. Like that might be what they might win the whole thing. And that's my AFC team. I'm riding with that. It give me the most confidence going up against the Chiefs. I believe that the Ravens can beat the Chiefs with Derrick Henry. So let's go Ravens. Let's win the AFC, but it starts with beating Buffalo on Sunday. So that's going to be a great game. And real quick, something I forgot to mention for the Rams Eagles. Rams rookie linebacker Jared Verse says, quote, I hate Eagles fans. They're so annoying. Hugh, why is the rookie talking like that going into Philly?
It's called confidence. I mean, he's one of the best players on their team.
He
He's had a
is,
heck of a year. When your vets show, I mean, and he's not a vet, he's going to be a vet, right? But
yeah,
when your young players who are talented show up and say, guys, look, we're not backing down from nothing.
yeah,
There's something to that every now and then. You got to be careful what you say.
yeah.
But a lot of people don't like Eagle fans. So let's just be honest about that.
Haven't we
That's
seen the news
true.
stories from
They
last
are
week's
rude.
game?
Some guy
There were
just
some
got fired from his
stories.
job
hmm
for being an Eagles fan. Let's just be
Yeah,
honest about that.
yeah,
So I get it, but at the same time, the fans are not going to decide the game. It's going to be
yeah.
between those white lines with those 22
Mhm.
guys that are out there playing. That's how this game's going to get played, and nobody's going to talk the ball up the field or scream at somebody up the field. It's going to be how you play. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. But I really believe in my heart that the Rams are going to be there.
All right.
One
Well,
other
can't
thing to
wait.
mention about this matchup, if we're talking about the
Yeah.
Eagles again, real quick, Cooper DeJean, 73 targets his rookie season, zero passing touchdowns allowed.
You,
Wow.
you know
Like,
what's interesting about all of us sitting here, Alex and you, Amanda? We haven't even mentioned Cooper Cup. We
Yeah.
talk
he's
about
been in it.
Puka.
Yeah,
We better
Yeah.
start talking about Cooper Cup because he
he's
gonna show up, baby.
he
I'm
is.
telling
Yeah.
you, Cooper
Yeah.
Cup's gonna make a difference in this game.
I
Yeah.
love that Rams team. Puka needing help putting his cleat on, and Matt Stafford, dad of four girls, popping down behind him and trying to put his shoe on for him. Like full dad mode. That was the cutest shit I've ever seen. Like, they're like, here, buddy, let me help you. Like he does this shit 4 times a day with his four daughters. Like so cute.
All right. Well, divisional round's gonna be awesome. Best time of the year. We love the playoffs, and we're just gonna sit back all weekend and watch these great games with the college football national championship on Monday as well. So best time of year. Uh,
Hugh, who are
Anybody
you
but
rooting
the
for?
Chiefs. Let's go, huh?
Who is Hugh rooting for in the natty?
Oh, they gotta make me say this
Oh,
on air. Oh
are
my
we gonna fight?
gosh. Cause I love Marcus Freeman. I do. I like the Fighting Irish. I used to love to beat the Fighting Irish because I am a Trojan at heart.
There you go.
So let's go Buckeyes. Let's go Buckeyes.
I'm just gonna bring down my Michigan Wolverines thing and just hold it on the next episode.
Amanda's
I
just full of hate for this game, huh? Just
Oh, just passionately. And my best friend went to Ohio State. I'm a Michigan fan. Like I talked shit to her last night. We video chatted for an hour. But I mean, ugh, anyone but Ohio State.
You might be texting her saying, "Can we still be friends when this is over?"
Hey, Michigan beat Ohio. That's the only
Yes,
game
they
we care
did.
about.
They
We
did, and
don't talk one day a year, and that's the
that was
one.
disappointing.
I'm gonna. This is very uncharacteristic for me. I pick against Notre Dame every game, all the time. I'm going with Notre Dame here.
Oh
My
my
uncle,
gosh, Alex, I
my
kind of understand why Amanda has dominated you for so long now. It makes a lot of sense.
well, in the regular season, Hugh, not in the playoffs. That's what I,
She's winning right now. Oh, Alex,
that's
come
true.
on.
I shouldn't have picked the Vikings. Trusting in Sam Darnold. What
I
am
told you.
I doing? But yeah, my uncle Dean was 80 years old and went to his first Notre Dame game, the
Oh
first
wow.
playoff game against Indiana.
Oh wow.
So, in his older age, watching Notre Dame in the national championship, I'm gonna root for him, root for Notre Dame. And I don't like Ohio State either. So
My grandma went to Notre Dame. Like, I'll root for him. I'm
yeah.
fine with that. Also,
Well, touchdown Jesus, they can't bring him from South Bend, Indiana, and get it over there. So
Yeah.
look out! Here come the Buckeyes.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. So much good football this weekend. Hugh, we appreciate you taking the time to come on every week. It's awesome. And let's kick Amanda's ass this week and get back into the league. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a great weekend, guys, and peace out.